If you're a returning Borderlands player, you'll know this tip, so consider this one for the newbies. Do not stress out your build and your gear. You're gonna see all these different stats and abilities on your guns, and you might be wanting to make sure everything is well optimized, synergizing with each other in order to craft the perfect build. The way the game drops loot means getting the perfect build takes some serious grinding, which you'll want to worry about after you finish the campaign. That's because your gear will get out-leveled quickly as you play. So just don't stress it. Take it from me, the campaign is never demanding enough that having a perfect build is needed anyways. What's most important is that the guns you use feel fun to shoot and your abilities are satisfying. The grind can come after. Now let's get into some Borderlands 4 specific changes. In every Borderlands game, they change the way the economy works, and wouldn't you know it, they've changed it again for 4. Unlike Borderlands 3, you no longer use money for SDU upgrades. Now that's the stuff that lets you upgrade your backpack and vault space, as well as max ammo. Now, that stuff has its own dedicated currency which you earn from doing side quests, open world activities like opening silos, and finding collectibles. Hovering over an icon on the map tells you the reward, and for SDUs, it's this little bullet symbol. That leaves money for spending on vending machines and respeccing skills. You also lose money every time you die, so, try not to die too much. By the way, you can see how much money you have by hovering over this icon on the bottom right of your screen. The big dollar sign might seem obvious now, but it took me longer than it should have to find it, so in case that happens to you, there you go. Borderlands 4 is open world, which is a major difference from the previous game's approach of smaller spaces with more specific pathing for quests and objectives. And yet, to get to many of the game's locations like safe houses or silos requires you to follow a very specific path. There were many times I would travel to a location only to find a cliff blocking my path, unclear how to get there. The solution? Drop a pin over the location on your map and the game will tell you the exact path you need to follow. Once pinned, now when you press up on the D-pad to activate Echo 4, a white path will lead you. Follow the path. Let it guide you. For me, perhaps the least clear aspect of Borderlands 4 was how quest difficulty and enemy scaling works. Quests do not have recommended levels associated with them. Instead, they are categorized as very easy, easy, normal, hard, and very hard. I originally thought these had something to do with enemy levels based on your level, but no, they aren't. I've done hard missions with enemies comfortable to my level, and normal missions with enemies far above my level. What I think they refer to is what the devs considered to be the difficulty of the mission. So how does enemy scaling work? Well, because the game is open-ended and missions can be tackled in a less linear way, enemies will always scale up to be somewhat close to where you are, in order to keep a decent challenge. However, there are certain major story missions that do seem to have a base level requirement. For example, I suddenly encountered level 27 enemies here while being only level 24. My damage was simply too low and I had to stop in the middle of the story mission to grind out some levels, which was annoying. So here's my tip. While at first it seems like your level doesn't matter, there are points in the story that do require a certain level. So don't rush through multiple story missions too quickly and do lots of side quests in between to keep your level going up at a consistent pace. If you do that, you should be fine. I hope you find these quick tips helpful as you loot and shoot your way across Kairos. For more tips and tricks on your favorite games, stick around here on GameSpot. Thanks for watching.